What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. You know, yesterday I kind of had a reality check. As you guys know, I have three beautiful, healthy young children: Thomas, Cambria, and Preston. And when I first moved to Illinois from North Carolina, I met a gentleman named Dr. Stewart Wee. And we became friends because of our interest and our involvement in the functional community, as far as conditioning, as far as training. He's helped me get through my ab surgery, for example. He's the one who did my prehab and my rehab, helping me recover literally 8 weeks worth in 1 week and getting clearance to actually meet you guys at the Arnold Classic. I wasn't supposed to be at that show. Because of Dr. Stu, I was able to be there. And, you know, Dr. Stu has always been there for me, and he's just a friend. He's a very good friend. You know, in fact, I've only known him about a year, and I'd say he's one of my best friends I've ever had in my life. I can trust him. He's loyal. He's just a great guy. And I remember a year ago, it was about a year ago. It was around the Arnold Classic. It was a little under a year ago. And I remember I went to dinner with him, Big Nate, the big powerlifter, placed third at the Arnold from Australia, and Nate Baxter, and Dr. Stu and his family. And I remember his son, just a normal kid, you know, just having fun, eating dinner, and you know, healthy as can be. And around mid-year, you know, I remember Dr. Stu telling me that he got diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and I had no clue what it was. And I regret to say that I didn't look it up. I was traveling, I was busy, and my daughter actually sat down and she researched it, and she's 8, and she told me exactly what it was. And I remember, okay, you know, and I remember her telling me how fast it comes about. And, you know, I remember her telling me this, and it's kids. I'm really bad with kids and you know, dealing with kids with any kind of issue, any kind of hardship. And I remember her telling me this, and I'm like, okay, you know, it didn't really hit reality. And then I decided to get involved heavily in donating and, you know, and spending my time and giving money to Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which we donated over $17,000 yesterday to this cause. And I was there playing with Jaden, who's Dr. Stu's son. And the amount this disease has, the toll it's taken on him within a year of diagnosis is profound to me. And I don't know if that sounds good or bad to say, but I have a message with this. And, you know, this is a disease that it affects their mobility. It affects their walking. He has trouble climbing upstairs. When I remember going to dinner, he was running around crazy. This is just in February. And it's December now. And one thing I wanted to kind of get is, you know, you never know when you're going to lose something. You never know when someone you love is going to get hurt, going to get sick, going to get cancer. You just saw that beautiful little girl, Danica. I want to give you an update on Danica. She's in Iowa, and I remember we did that drive with Purist Labs, and we raised over, I believe it was $1,200 for her personally and her family. She beat cancer. She literally, her body's cancer-free. And I just drove out there to do some business, and I had a big little event over there, and I drove out there. I dropped some teddy bears at her house, and you know, I remember seeing her, and I'm like, you know, I hope everything goes well. And then she just posts like nonchalantly, like, hey, I'm cancer-free. But imagine your parents just woke up one day, your kid's had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And what I wanted to stress is that you never know when something bad's going to happen. It's the law. It's just the law of the earth. It's the law of everything. You don't know when your dog is going to get sick. You don't know if your wife's going to get a tumor. You don't know what's going to happen. And what I want to just stress is that we all need to live life and treat people correctly, because you don't want your last memory of someone being of you mistreating them. You don't want your last memory be, I mean, imagine if, like, I'm sure a lot of people won't care, but the people who say mean things online to people like Chris Jones and and me and this and that. Imagine something happened to us. Would you like your last memory? Like, yeah, I trolled his fucking page. You know, I trolled him. You know, would you like your last memory to be a fight with your child, to be this, to be that? You know, what I'm saying is, as people, I think it's good to realize and not take for granted. It's easy to take for granted health. It's easy to take for granted wellness. And I always point to this story. There's the best client I ever had when I was a personal trainer. Was this man who had many, many strokes on his right side. He could not use his right side at all. And he had like 7 degrees. And I remember he came in, he trained, he busted his ass. And obviously, if you can only use one side, you're not going to make tons of gains. And I said, you know, I just got to be honest. I just want to be outright and real. Why do you do this? And he said, because I can. And I'm sure you guys have heard this story from me before. But I just want to reiterate the fact that, you know what? Nothing's wrong with treating people correctly. Nothing's wrong with being kind and generous to people. Nothing's wrong with giving to charity. Nothing's wrong with being emotional. Nothing's wrong with telling people nice things. Nothing's wrong with telling people they have a nice smile, or they make you feel good, or they make you laugh. Nothing's wrong with that. And as a parent, it really hits close to home when you realize that you might have 2 or 3 beautiful children now, and beautiful, healthy children now. But in a split second, that can change. In a split second, I mean, I was watching a TV show. It was, I think it was Grey's Anatomy with my wife one night. And it was like this woman had issues with childbirth and the baby was going to kill her if she delivered her because she had a healthy 2-year-old. And I know this is a TV show, and she's running and she fell and she hit her head and she died. And that's something we just got to be cognizant of, is that you really need to realize that every moment could be your last. And I'm not saying go all YOLO and jump from bridges and burn stuff down, because that's your legacy. That's another thing. You might be YOLO. Yeah, you only live once. I'm going to do this. I'm going to live the free life. Yeah. What do you want to be remembered for? At the end of the day, you're only as good as your legacy. And I want my kids to look and say, you know, my daddy did something nice. Or my daddy did this, or my daddy was great, because I don't want them to defend the fact that their daddy was a jerk. And that's what I'm getting at. You know, guys, a lot of things come in perspective lately in my life. And one is that charity and giving back and giving your time and giving your energy to people, it all comes back around. Good things will happen to you. The more good things you do, whether it's karma, whether it's fate, whether it's whatever, just do good things. And that's not from a religious standpoint. That's just from being a decent human being standpoint. So that's what I wanted to get across to you, is the fact this is just from the heart, okay? This is just me thinking openly, is that I think we see a lot of hate and a lot of unkindness in the world. I posted the video and the reason I post the video of me giving money to Duchenne muscular dystrophy is to get more exposure to the cause. Because from that, I've had over 15 emails and even a comment in the video asking how people can donate to this cause. That's why you do it. You do it so people know. You know, why do you think they do those fundraisers? Oh, you know, Delta's going to give X to this and X. It's just how you get notoriety to the cause. And you know what? Let's say I'm benefiting from it for marketing. I still gave over $17,000 to muscular dystrophy. If that's a bad thing, then I'm a bad person. If the $20,000 I gave earlier this year to cystic fibrosis is a bad thing, then I'm evil. Okay, so you know, the thing is, you trolls, you hide under these aliases and these blank accounts. And even if I was under an alias and I wasn't under my real persona, my real name, I would never say the hurtful and evil things that come out of your mouth. I would never say it. What human being can even think that? I had people post on a video that they hope my kids get struck with disease. Really? And that's not even something I'd fight you over. That's just something that I feel bad for you, for even being able to have that nasty, horrible, horrible thought in your head. But just take every day, tell the people you love that you love them, and give them hugs. All right? Just be you. Just don't be afraid. There's nothing beta. There's nothing more alpha than being able to show your feelings. There's nothing more alpha than being able to cry. There's nothing more alpha than being able to empathize with someone's pain. There's nothing more alpha than trying to help somebody who is in pain. That's what alphas do. Alphas aren't jerks. Bodybuilders, we can be alpha. And I know there's a lot of self-centered piece of shit bodybuilders. Don't be one of them. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. You know what? This video is too good to say it's not a game in my normal fashion. So look, just be nice to people. Be good to everybody. Tell the ones you love them. And remember that.